Welcome to the top 10 of 2025. It's been a pretty solid year for comics. Plenty of stuff to choose from, despite the Diamond Distribution bankruptcy, which caused all sorts of chaos for weekly comics and legal troubles for shop owners, publishers, and indie books. Just a complete mess. But despite all that, we survived, and there were some incredible comics that came out in the last year, like Batman Dark Patterns by Dan Watters and Hayden Sherman. So this is the first honorable mention, and I'll do about 5 of these and then go to the official top 10. But there were so many good Batman books this year, like Batman and Robin Year 1 could have easily made the list, but Dark Patterns was a real standout for me, specifically the artwork by Hayden Sherman. He's one of the busiest artists this year, and we'll see him again on this list. So that's the first honorable mention. Next is TMNT by Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira. So those two actually just left the title, and we have a new creative team starting with issue 13 here. Gene, Lewin the Yang, and Freddie Williams. And I ain't mad at it, actually. Looks pretty dope. So maybe it'll make the list next year, but Turtles were definitely a bright spot of 2025. Next is Santos Sisters by Greg and Fake. One of the coolest comics out there, printed on newsprint, Eisner-winning series, and it's easy to fall for it, so I really dig it. Got Universal Monsters, Invisible Man by James Tynion with artwork by Danny. And I've enjoyed most of these Universal Monsters series. This one may be my favorite, though. It's a prequel to the 1933 film. And I'll admit, I've never watched it, but it didn't affect my ability to understand and be entertained by this really twisted story. So we got some more honorable mentions. Archie Meets Jay and Silent Bob, written by Kevin Smith. This was a pleasant surprise. I was really charmed by this crossover, especially the vulgarity and the obscene language, which you never see in Archie comics. And while I'm talking about Kevin Smith, he's been busy this year. He also released the 3rd volume of his Quick Stops series, which included this replica of the Chasing Amy comic from the film, as well as a couple of tributes to Alan Rickman and Shannon Doherty, which were actually pretty sweet. So that is that. A couple more here. Literally just books I'm reading this week. We got Powers 25, the return of the Bendis series with art by Michael Avon-Oeming, another favorite of mine. And this is hitting pretty good so far. 4 issues in, I'm liking it. And The Toxic Crusaders from Ahoy Comics, just one of the wildest looking books on shelves right now. I may be the only person reading this one, but on to the top 10. Got Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. This is a 3-issue miniseries with some incredible artwork and an insane story beats. Just old man Murdoch here. Probably the best thing that Marvel put out in 2025, which is a pretty low bar. Though to be fair, I haven't read any of the Ultimates books, and there's a lot of stuff I don't read, so I'm only one man. Though I did enjoy Spider-Man vs. Wolverine when Carrie Andrews was on the art. And the new Infernal Hulk series has been really over the top. Just one of the most gory comics I've ever seen from Marvel. But that's the only Marvel comic on the list in the top 10, Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. Number 9 is Spaceship Godzilla. IDW has really been killing it with this Godzilla franchise this year. There was Monsterpiece Theater, which made my best of 2024 list. Mothra, I covered that earlier this year. Great book. Escape the Deadzone also could have made this list. But Spaceship Godzilla by Chris Gooch and Oliver Ono was my favorite. Ragtag group of bandits and mercenaries flying around in a Mecha Godzilla. That's right, just some sheer sci-fi insanity and a kinetic story that moves at light speed with some fun characters and monsters. So I love this stuff. All right, number 8 is Plague House by Michael Conrad and Dave Chisholm. So this is a horror book with an interesting twist that I won't spoil, but I was really impressed with the artwork by Dave Chisholm. And he also worked on another book this year, Spectrum, which was a contender for this list, but I wanted to show off just some of the stellar work that this guy has been doing in 2025. And Spectrum is a 6-issue series. Plague House is a 4-issue miniseries by Oni Press. So check those out. Next is Orphan and the Five Beast, Bath of Blood. And this is a one-man show, everything done by James Stokoe. Just one of the gnarliest comics that I've ever seen. It's a sequel to the 5-issue series published by Dark Horse a couple years ago. And just look at this guy. Face removed from the skull, brain flying out of the back. What more do you need? Hell, maybe this should be number 1. But there's only 3 issues out so far, so it's going to sit at number 7 for now. Number 6 is Kaya by Wes Craig. Some of the most memorable moments of the series have occurred in 2025. Now we're up to issue 30 or something. And I mentioned this series last year as an honorable mention, but made the top 10 this year. One of the most consistently beautiful comics on shelves, Kaya by Wes Craig. So Ice Cream Man would normally make my list, but they didn't put out a whole lot in 2025, except for this like Mortal Coil card deck that was released, as well as like another one-shot. And I did a video on this if you want to check it out. But in its place at number 5 is Superman, Kryponite Spectrum. The creative team of Ice Cream Man, you got Prince and Morazzo. This is their bizarre take on Superman, and it's just bonkers. I love it. Silver Age madness, fifth dimensional hijinks, one of the best surprises of 2025. No surprise here, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rites of Spring, the sequel to the smash hit from last year. It made my top 5 of 2024, and Patrick Horvath does it again. No sophomore jinx here. Sam the Serial Killer Bear is a fan favorite, even popping up in a DC book next month. So this has 1 or 2 issues left, and I cannot wait to see where that goes. Number 3 is Tales of Paranoia by the legendary Robert Crumb. So this is a one-shot published by Fantagraphics, and I didn't expect to see any new Robert Crumb comics in 2025, but here we are. So comic books are one of the most powerful ways that a person can convert the ideas in their brain into a tangible, portable object. And this is one of the most challenging comics that I've ever read. Not challenging to read, but just, or confusing or anything. Far from it. I comprehended everything. I mean, challenging to my personal values and opinions. This comic is like in direct dialogue with his readers and in conflict with its author in a way. It grapples with aging and conspiracy theories and COVID and vaccines and the struggle to keep an open mind while also questioning authority. I think Crumb is intelligent and talented, and what could be his last floppy comic here is worth reading to me. So that's Tales of Paranoia. Number 2 is another comics legend, Stan Sakai, with Usagi Yojimbo, 10,000 Plums. This is a 5-issue series, the latest in a 40-year history of comics, and it may be one of the most personal and sweetest comics that Stan has ever done. It's dedicated to his brother, Kenneth Sakai, who passed away in 2024. And I always pick up the latest Usagi Yojimbo books. And this one was like really emotional. And I wanted to spotlight it here because I don't think it gets the love it deserves. That's 10,000 Plums. So I'm going to cheat for my number 1. My top book of 2025 is the Absolute line. Specifically the trinity of Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter. Each of these individually could have made the list on their own, but I just wanted to lump them together here to talk about how impressive it is, what DC has done this year. And without a doubt, when looking back at 2025, the story, all capital letters, is going to be the Absolute Universe. It should be impossible to drop comics this successful financially, regarding huge sales, and critically. Everyone's talking about these books. The hype is incredible, and there really wasn't anything else close this year. Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman on Wonder Woman killed it. Snyder and Dragotta on Absolute Batman. That book just keeps getting better and better. Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez taking Martian Manhunter in a bizarre direction with doing things in comics I've never seen done before. Each of these 3 have been my favorite book at some point this year. So it only felt right to put all 3 here at the end. Again, it's kind of cheating, but hey, who cares? So that's my top 10 list. My apologies if I missed any of your favorites. There's so much I don't read, so I know I'm missing stuff, but hey, no big deal. It's just the stuff that I liked, and that's where I'll leave it. I'll see you in 2026. Adios.